Let me just check to see if my mic is working. Oh, why did she come in? Welcome back to another tutorial video. So I'm going to teach you how to, if you haven't seen from the title, how to rig a model effectively and quickly. So here we have this little model that was made by a modeler for my upcoming game. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. It was the video before this. I'll probably have it linked in the description or at the end of this video in my outro. But we have this little model here for a unit, and I'm going to teach you how to model it. So first requirement you need to have is Roblox Studio. Second, you need a model that has different parts. This is important. You need different parts. It can't be one mesh. It has to be, if it's one mesh, then you have to animate it in wherever you made the mesh, but we're going to have separate pieces here. Second, you have to have this little plugin up here called Edit Rig, and it just pulls up a menu that allows you to edit rigs pretty efficiently and effectively. And that's all you need to have. And it doesn't matter what kind of part they are, because we're going to do this with mesh parts, because that's how this was made. And so the first thing that we want to do is go to the model, and we want to copy the main body. As you can see, I've titled this one the main body of the pineapple, and what you'll do is you'll duplicate it. So to duplicate, you hit Control D on computer. I don't know what it is for Mac. I'm guessing it's Command D, but you'll have to figure it out, whatever software you're on or hardware you're on. So we're just gonna name this, and this is important, humanoid root part. Okay, this is important. This dictates the exact position of the character, and it's when it gets animated, it can do whatever it wants, but its main root part will always be here, and that's how it solves problems of like hitboxes and stuff that has to do with like animation and stuff. So now we have the root part and we have the main body. You're almost ready. Just set this transparency to 1 so they can't see it when it animates in and out, and make sure that everything is unanchored, and also you can turn off can't collide as well. So here we go, we have all the parts, and now we can get into actually rigging it. So first we want to open up our rig edit right here, and we want to click on the part that we're connecting first. Where these welds will be created will dictate how they move, so I normally like to go from the main part and start branching outwards into other parts. That's the easiest way. So first you want to go to humanoid root part, and then shift click or command click, control click on the next one. I wouldn't hit shift click, because if you were trying to connect this to this, it's going to select everything, so I'd go 1 2 or 1 2 with control or command, and so I'd select your humanoid root part, and I'd select the part that was duplicated to create it. Okay, so as you can see with rig edit, it kind of gives you the numbers 0 1. Those are what's going to be connected. This is also important. When you make a humanoid root part to animate things, you have to create a joint for it. A joint, there's a difference between joints and welds. Welds are basically like glue. It glues one part onto another, so when it gets animated, they always stick together. Joints allow things to move separately. So if you have an arm, a weld would keep them together. If you try to move the arm, it'd stay static. But if you had a joint, it will pop, and you can animate those separately. For the humanoid root part, it has to have a joint so that the main body can move with everything else, but the main part sits in the middle, and so that doesn't work. So now that we have those connected, that's important. Now we can start connecting other things. Now we're gonna start from the main body. As you can see, we have this glasses mesh part and we have this mouth mesh part. So what I can do is I can make sure I have the main body selected, and then I click or control click on another. That didn't work for some reason, so just find out what piece this is right here, and then click on the main body first, and then control click on another one, and then you can create a joint or a weld. For this, I'm going to create a weld because I want the eyes to always stay with the pineapple. For the second one, main body, and then I'm going to take the mouth, which is named right here, and then create a weld right there so that they stick together. So this is always why it's good to have good naming conventions, so you know what is connecting to what. These are obviously named mouth and eyes, so I was able to put those together pretty easily. Next up, we have the pineapple leaves, so I'll connect the main body to the pineapple leaves, and I'm also going to create a weld for that. And then I'm going to take the main body, where the main body is going to have a lot of connections, and then I want to find this little inside part. As you can see, there's a little throw that comes out that is cut up into multiple different pieces. I want to go to the inner one right here. As you can see, it's called thrower. So I'm going to grab the main body. I'm going to control click on the thrower, right? Oh, I did not mean to do that. Right, and now that I have them selected, this one I'm going to create a joint. this will allow me to animate the top separately from the body. This is how I did one of my other animations, and I'll try to recreate that quickly as well. And then that's just a matter of creating joints on each of these because I want all of them to be able to move separately. So for this one, I want to take the thrower, and then that looks like throw 004. So I'm going to click this, and I'm going to create. Hello, this is Caden from the future, and at this part I am completely incorrect. When you have multiple joints sticking to each other, you need to make sure that they're all connected by joints. So in this case, I have the top and the bottom part of this part that I'm trying to weld together. I actually have to make those joints because the joint chain continues. You should only use welds for cosmetics that are connected to that specific part and not anything else. So because these two are split into two different mesh parts, but I want to keep them as one, I should just keep them as a joint, or else other animators won't be able to access the joints that are connected to the part that was welded, and I'll show this off in the future when it doesn't work. So just be mindful of this part. I'm completely incorrect, and do not listen to this part, but you can continue with the rest. Just switch whatever I made to a weld to a joint. Thank you. Then I need to find this. 004 connects to 003, so I'm going to just move down the line. I'm just going to create a joint here so those can move separately. Then 03 to 02, I'm going to create a joint there. And then 02 to 01, I'm going to create a joint there. I could also create a weld here because I don't know if I'm going to be moving that, but that's fine. And there you have it. And then if you have things that are animatable, like the slice, I'm going to, anything that can come off of your character. For example, if this unit is throwing something, like it's going to throw this slice at something, then you will have to create a joint for that, so it can move and not move the entire thing with it. So we're gonna take the, what's it called? The slice. We're gonna connect it to thrower 001, slice, and create a joint, and boom. And now the cool thing about this rig edit software is that you can pull these down so it animates from a specific place. This is important so that you can get those perfect little joints. So if I want this joint down here, because I want it to connect to here, as you can see, there's a little part where this mesh kind of like separates. I'm going to try to put this around that line so that I know it's going to tilt off that area. That's its like rotation point. And to make sure it's aligned perfectly, and I'm pretty sure it is, because it's only moving it right. So yep. And there you go. That's rigging it. Now that we have this stuff rigged, we can close this. Actually, keep it open. Right, so we have this, and we can throw in a humanoid. This will give it its type. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm trying to remember if I'm forgetting anything. You can also test to see if it works. If you have Moon Animator, then it should be able to pull up as rig. So obviously it didn't, so I did something wrong. I have to figure out what. Oh, this is important. The pineapple has something called a primary part. Where is it? Right here. It's under pivot. Primary part, you have to set that to the humanoid part. Now it should work. And there we go. You're able to open up a rig. This must be unique. Yeah. I guess this just goes off of this. So you just have to be careful with, I guess, other things with Moon Animator, apparently. Whatever, man. Okay, and then as you can see, if you have Moon Animator open, you're gonna get these things. Why am I not getting everything? Does it not like that this is a weld? Okay, it just didn't like the weld, apparently. It doesn't matter if it's a joint, because joints will always stick together, but now you can freely animate. I did not know that. I've never had problems with that before, but apparently that's a thing. So now you can go around. I would, personally, if you want to keep this intro pose, like this is a little bit quick example to like kind of like editing, you can select everything down and add keyframes right? And then you can move it to 30, and I can have this guy rock kind of like back and forth. So if I turn it, whoa, whoa. Okay, I don't know why I'm having issues. Oh, because I'm rotating absolutely everything. This, or not that, this. And so when I hit 30, you can rock it this way. You can loop, talk a loop. Boom, 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 boom. Right? And then you can also double click on these to add like kind of like in outs. So yeah. I don't know. That works. That's not what I wanted it, but yeah. And then I can go back and I could set certain item keyframes to be like down, have that down like that. And then as you can see, it follows with that. So, and you can see the rotation points that I set. Bam, kind of rotate around like that. If you have a mesh that's kind of like that, it's gonna break, but for my game, I don't really care about that right now. That's a little bit about modeling and animating. So yeah, that's a pretty simple tutorial. I'm gonna cut this down. I have to go edit it now because I got mixed up in some stuff. But all right, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this quick tutorial, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.